And that's in there too, boy. We live. I'm leaving
it don't matter what it do. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 14. We made it to episode 14 of the Popscast. I will be hosting today's podcast. My name is Mars. If you are new to the channel, to the podcast, whatever it is, and I'm joined by my other two hosts, Tesmo Gizmo, aka Tez, and the boy, the man, the myth, the legend, CK2K TV himself,
the new daddy.
The new
I'm
daddy.
not new.
No, you're right. You're right. You are
I was first.
I was about to co-sign with Tez. That was my first mistake tonight. God, already.
There was no mistake.
But yeah, man, how y'all doing? You know, it's been 2 weeks since we really talked, because I haven't talked to y'all since the last podcast. To be honest,
Facts.
CK, congratulations, baby Malik is finally home. So,
my man's
how's that adjustment going?
It's exactly like I had said in all these episodes. He is the complete opposite of Anaya, and I have not. Poor Carly too. I've not slept, but poor Carly's not sleeping at all either. She be trying to take naps in the craziest times during the day, and you know, God bless her, she's doing so good. But yeah, he's running the house. It's his world now. It's his world.
It's a man's world now.
Man. It is his house.
Man, that's crazy. Tez, in some news with you.
Right. I didn't get to respond, but I heard
the babies are crawling. Mobile. They are mobile now.
They getting there. It ain't like full fledged. We out and about, but you see them gears turning and them legs and hands starting. Julia's got it. She's got it better. Yeah, but like, now hear me out. Jazz is kind of she's kind of like dragging herself. Like, she got the arm. She's like, she just zombie pulling. She's like, but I'm getting it. I'm going. And she got like one leg.
That's normal though.
Yeah, she can scoot off with one leg, and then she's like, she get that traction, and it's like, yeah, there we go, I got it. We gonna get it.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I remember those. For me, Millie, she was rolling. Like, she would roll to get. She wasn't crawling. Like, she would just turn to the side. She didn't go up and down. She would only roll around. I'm like, Millie, where you going? She was like, oh, but if I could do this, I can get over there. And so she was just rolling around, man. That was one of the funniest things I ever seen.
That is so funny.
Millie, you got it twisted, girl.
She figured out her type of movement.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it, man. So yeah, just wait a little bit. Give it like 2 more weeks, Tez. They're gonna be actually crawling. And you're gonna be in for your money.
About 2 more weeks, they'll be 9 months. Like,
I had asked Tez if like it's a twin thing. If one starts to crawl, then the other one sees it, and then they all of a sudden just miraculously start to crawl too.
And
then vice versa with walking. So I want to see it. So now we gotta see if because it's Jules that started crawling, right?
See, that's the thing. We think Jazz is gonna pick up on walking quicker than Jules will, and we only say this because Jazz, her legs, once she gets planted, her legs are just really strong. Jules is a lot tinier, so stuff comes a little bit easier as far as getting the motions down. But when Jazz like lifts up, like, she can hold herself up for a bit of time. Once she figures out this is all I need.
She's gonna be towering over Jules, like, look,
she already taller than her, and she got the weight. I'd be like, you too big to be letting her beat you up, boy. As soon as y'all can move, she gonna be in a world of hurt. Cause all you gotta do is lean forward and boom. That's all I'm hearing.
There it is, man. Yeah. So I guess we could talk about what today is going to be about. Today's topics. It's not really a topic. I wanted to be a little bit more. Just for today, this is probably not going to be a normal thing, but a little bit more informative and give a little bit more information.
You're trying to say that we don't give information on the show? Mars, is that what you're trying to say?
No, 100%.
This is the first episode on our new channel. Can I preface with that? Can I preface with that real quick? I just want to say this is our first episode on Popscast, the YouTube channel. So for our audio listeners, if you go over you can literally YouTube Popscast, one word, and you will find the YouTube channel. And this is the first episode that's up right now. So according to Mars, since we're not very informative, now this is the one that's going to set the bar. So we must be informative from here on out.
We don't have to.
No, we have to. We have to. No. My pride is hurt a little bit now. You saying that?
I was like, wait a minute. And the only reason why I did this is because I had no topic. So that's the only reason why we're going this route. And we keeping it real.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, so we all know it's the coronavirus and it's a pandemic, and It's crazy going on out there. We say it every week and all the time, but now for a lot of people, school is starting back up, and this is a whole new different process for parents with kids, or just kids in general going back to school and trying to learn in a whole different way than we've all learned before, because this is a new field for everybody, a lot of people. So, people are staying home, people are going to school, people don't know if they should bring their kids to school. I'm not the one to tell you what to do, whatever you feel like doing, you could do. But yeah, for this is more so geared towards the people who are staying home and who are learning with the younger kids that are like doing these Zoom meetings and things like that. These are just 10 simple tips and tricks maybe that can help you out with this process, make your process a lot smoother and easier. Because for me, like I said, I'm not at this phase yet, but I do see it. Yeah, my homeboy is doing it right now. He's going through this phase with his kid in pre-K and doing a whole internet learning thing. I know CK, you got like maybe a year or two before that.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah. So none of us are actually at that point,
Thank
but
God.
I feel like we can still give some advice to people for that are in that spot. So the first thing I want to talk about is they say digital quarantine, right? Consider limiting your children's cell phones and tablets until their schoolwork is done or satisfactory. So they're not allowed to use any of their video games or like they're any of their, I guess, tablets and phones and games for social purposes and stuff, like recreational purposes, so it limits the time for them being in front of a screen all day, right? So for instance, if you're sitting there learning for like maybe 2 to 3 hours, however long it takes for a class to go on, maybe take a break from them staring at the screen for that long, instead of just, all right, you're done with your schoolwork, then go and play a game for another 3-4 hours, or use your tablet or use the phone or watch TV. So they're talking about one of the things that can help them stay focused more is if they're not in front of the screen more often. Yeah, you guys, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, it definitely makes sense, because I as somebody who works in front of screens all day, the least amount of time I spend in front of said screen prior to the next day I start work, or even if I get a chance to just not be at my screen for a long period of time, it does help when I actually have to focus, and it's my whole mindset of, hey, I got to be locked in here, this is what I got to be doing, like I can't be distracted, and this is where I'm going. So yeah, it makes sense. Now when they say this, is this more in regards to the day of school or prior to the day of school? Like limit what they're so like first thing until classes start, no getting on your stuff until after class is done, type of situation. Right. Yeah, because the attention span of today's modern child is very short. My cousin, who is a teacher, she's letting me know, like, a lot of these kids now, attention span is really short. So with these Zoom classes or these e-learning environments, it's about how can I keep the information coming at them in such a bursted amount of time that it sticks, but at the same time that they're not getting so bored that they want to just move on to the next thing, or they're like, hey, well, I can do this, she ain't gonna be able to see it, but I believe you can see a lot of things. Well, depending on what they're using, they could possibly see what the kids are scrolling, or you might have to have the parents in the background to limit what else is going on. But I mean, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. How about you, CK?
Well, see, to me, this isn't difficult, because this is something I grew up with. We had this conversation, I think, in one of our first episodes, and obviously it wasn't with the e-learning and stuff like that, but it was a similar thing where our parents didn't even let us watch TV and stuff like that until the weekends, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday was the only time we could watch shows like that. We'd have to catch up on everything on the weekend. So to me, for this one, yeah, obviously I think that makes the most sense for multiple reasons. Because like Tez was saying, you're already focused, or supposed to be focusing on your work, aka school. And then now you're gonna have to, as kids, because it's easier for us as adults. For kids, to then be so accustomed to a screen that has their games and their favorite shows on. Now this screen has math problems. That's not as entertaining and that's not as fun. I'm not going to want to do that. Let me go back to my games and stuff. So you have to put that in their brains that none of that is touched until the other stuff, the not so fun stuff, the stuff that you need to do is done first. So I think it makes the most sense because it's easy for kids because they're going to be smarter than us, especially when it comes to technology. No matter how smart we are with technology, because luckily we play games and stuff, they still going to lap us. That's just that's how it works.
Yeah.
So to shut all that stuff down while they are supposed to be learning, while they're supposed to be doing their homework and stuff like that, I feel like that's just common sense. So I feel like even outside of this e-learning stuff, that should be the case with school in general. When they're going to school and coming back, they shouldn't be touching none of that stuff until all of their homework. So I don't think I'm going to go the same my parents went with and do it, at the end of the week. I think I'm gonna have they probably get an hour or two before bed or something like that. I might do something closer to that. But yeah, you definitely you can't just let them do everything at once thinking that they're going to actually take something away from the lessons and the stuff they were learning. I think that, that first one definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with it. Definitely take away their stuff and not even take it away, but just make sure that you're monitoring, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this brings us actually to the next tip or point. Is for number 2 is making a space for them, right? Because now that you're home and you're learning at home, you don't want them because they're comfortable. All right, if you have a setup in your room, they're more likely not to pay attention as much because they're more comfortable. Okay, I'm in my room, I'm chilling, I'm hanging out. So it says. Your children will achieve their best work in a quiet, comfortable, and dedicated space devoted to learning. So pretty much take them out of their comfort zone and put them somewhere else where they're not normally at so they can get the best out of sitting there for a couple of hours, learning. So yeah, I mean, look, I said, I'll recommend. Because even when I work on my own stuff in my office, sometimes I like to go when I'm writing a script for a video or just want to just brainstorm, I'll go to there's a coffee shop. Well, this is pre-pandemic. I will go to the coffee shop and sit down and write ideas down and get out of my house and out of my comfort zone because sometimes your best ideas don't come, while you're just sitting in your normal routine every day. So yeah, that's tip number 2. Do you guys have anything to touch on that? Pretty much just make a nice little office for your kid, honestly, for the learning.
Yeah, I'll pick it. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Again, I think that was common sense for sure. Because and to put it in their bedroom would be the worst thing to do because then they're like you said, they're gonna feel too comfortable. And it's one thing for parents because you even have adults in situations that whether they're YouTubers or now in this quarantine situation where now they're working from home and stuff like that. Even adults know that they cannot have their workspace in their bedrooms, but kids obviously aren't going to know that. They're going to think that that's the coolest thing ever. But when you're in that situation, they're going to be looking over at their, their toys and stuff like that and be like, oh man, I want to go play with that. And then they go walk over thinking that since they're home, I can play with that right now. Why not? I'm at my house. You can't tell me what to do. So you definitely got to have that specific spot in the living room, kitchen, wherever it may be, knowing that this is my school area. So when school is done, you can get up and then you can live your life in your house and then, enjoy it. So they know where they are in the house. So I think that's 100% important and definitely needed.
Yeah. Tez, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, basically what CK said, it'd be the same thing as for me. Like a lot of times, even though I'm in home, it goes both ways for adults and kids. If you know for a fact that this is the most comfortable spot you can be in, it's at the same time. Sometimes I do prefer or wish back I could be back in the office sometimes because I know if I can BS, just a little bit and take a break, but at the same time I still get all my work done, I am, and it's because I'm literally right behind my bed. I'm in here with all my comfortable doodads and everything else that generally keeps me entertained or occupied when I'm not having to focus on work. But yeah, it definitely makes sense to just it's like you couldn't get up in my house, like I couldn't get up from the table if I had homework. You do this, you're doing your homework at the table. You ain't getting up till it's done. or at least until I got to middle school, and then it was just kind of like, did you do it? Yeah. Ain't nobody checking at that point. I'm like, I think I did. They think I did it. I finish it in the morning. I'm gonna talk to the old boy and get the rest of it. I'm tired. I want to go play.
That brings us right to the next tip, and this was honestly a big one for me because honestly, if we were in this, like if we had to go through this pandemic and sit at home and learn through virtually, I honestly probably would fail because I wouldn't have been paying attention. And they said, so the next tip as a parent or whoever, a guardian, whatever you're doing, monitor the kid on the computer on what they're actually doing and see if they're actually paying attention to what's going on. Because you know, they might act like they're just sitting there learning and stuff like that, but they could be zoning out, not paying attention. And then so what they're suggesting is to, you know, ask questions after the lesson is out, like, oh, what did you learn today? And this is stuff that we would normally do to a kid. You know, you pick your kid up from school, or you see your kid, bring your kid home from school, whatever. You ask them, what did you guys learn today? Or, you know, what did you do in school today, to see if they're actually paying attention. But I feel like this one is way bigger because it's a lot easier to get distracted on the computer, right? And in these Zoom meetings, these kids are like, you know, something happens, it's funny, it's hard to get their attention as a teacher, right? So you do want to kind of monitor their behavior when they're doing that. But there was a meme that was going around. I don't know if you guys seen that. I should have posted it, but it was a meme. It was, you know, so there was a kid learning, and the teacher was teaching him, asked him a question. He was like, so if you take 3 apples and you eat 1, how many apples do you have left? And the kid was like, 3. But his dad was standing over him looking with a belt. So he was afraid to answer. It was a joke. Like, it was a joke. He was standing over him with the belt. So every time the teacher asked the question, he was like, no. So his dad picked him up and started beating him. What's the answer? I thought it was hilarious, but I think
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. So it does, when you're monitoring the kid. It comes into, like, you know, how you are actually monitoring them. I don't suggest sitting there standing over your kid when the professor is asking them questions and they get it wrong, and then you beating them. And because the dad was like, because the teacher was like, stop hitting him. He was like, I don't tell you how to run your classroom. Don't tell me how to run my household. And I was like, oh, damn, yo, you got a point. But yeah, so yeah, monitoring is definitely going to play a big part in just how you monitor. You just got to watch that. You don't want to be too overwhelming on the kid as well.
Yeah, 100%. I've not seen that meme, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna try to post it for y'all.
I saw something similar to that, kind of the equivalent of like 90s parents, how dads watch their kids learn. He didn't get up, he was just sitting there with like a belt in his hand, like just it was low to the ground so you couldn't see it, but the other person across the room had it in their hand just watching.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
Make sure you know what you're doing. And then also this, all right, we're moving on to the next one. Tip number 4, digital recess. It says, make sure that your children
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Make sure that your children take plenty of breaks in order to get physical activity and time away from the screens. So this kind of ties back into the first tip that we was talking about. But you said set alarms similar to those that you would encounter at school, and encourage them to get up and get some fresh air and go walk or ride a bike or whatever and have a snack. So what do you think about that?
I thought this was going a different way. So no, yeah, I agree. I definitely think that that's something that you should remember to incorporate, because again, you have to remember their kids, because even now because I'm sure you're going to get there soon too, unless you're already doing it. When it comes to Anaya, we're in the phase now where we're doing like her little memory games and stuff like that. But you know that you're only supposed to do that stuff with her for a specific amount of time, because then you're going to overwork them to the point where she's not going to want to do it anymore. She's not going to be retaining the information. And the next time you do it, you're going to suck. Or she's not going to remember the stuff that she remembers.
You said so.
Yeah, she's gonna suck. Yeah, I'm so blown with the question. I'm sorry. I love my daughter. All right, bro. If anybody listening, I love my daughter.
Dang, CK. Nah, you're gonna suck
if you don't remember, you gonna suck, girl. No. So 100%. I feel like this is the same situation, because these are still kids dealing with this stuff. Like, these are kids. That's why there's recess and there's nutrition and there's breaks in schools for a reason. Because if these kids are going to sit there from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., they're not going to retain a damn thing that they learned all day. So you definitely gotta make sure that you incorporate that when you're at the home as well. So no, I'm a fan of that. I thought you was going to say, Mark. I thought you was going to say something reckless, like for like digital recess, that they all going to be like, after they're done doing their lesson, they all stay in the Zoom call, and then their recess is them hanging out with all their friends in the Zoom call. I was about to be like, yo, nope. I think
like, that ain't recess, dog.
That's what I'm saying.
But because that kind of ties into what's next.
I mean, some people do in school. Some people did when we did have recess, and like some people would stay behind and just chill in the class. Like it was optional for you to leave if you didn't want to. Like you can go outside, or you can. There's other areas where you can just sit and chat. But I did want to say something earlier, like in the topic pop bullet point number 3. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think for 90s kids, even though we did have some form of internet, dial up. I don't think any of our parents are sitting here trying to have a phone on like unable to ring through for the longest amount of time. They're like, boy, you better send a packet home and a voicemail and call it a day. That's it.
Yeah, no facts, no for real. But yeah, going back to to the whole digital recess, how you thought it was, CK. For tip number 5. Tip number 5 is FaceTime. And this is big because especially with these kids growing up like this, and if they have to go like this for a while, interacting with other kids and making them social with other kids, right? Don't have them just go on a school meeting. Yeah. And then, after the meeting, they don't talk to anybody. They can't. It's because it's going to be so much harder. It's so much harder now for kids to actually make friends, because this thing about if you're going to school for the first time, you're in this, you're not going to sit here and talk to somebody in the hallway that you see and say, what's up? All these sports activities are closed. So, it's hard to make friends and interact with people. So it does say, it recommends that, pick a couple of friends and have a group and have them do lessons together, like their little homework together as a group, so they can talk and get to know each other and don't become socially awkward, because after this whole pandemic is up, they're going to go outside and be like, hey,
how do I human?
Right, exactly. So they definitely say sit your child down between FaceTime, face-to-face conversations, and screen time. So it's also talking about the parents should do it as well. Just have nice FaceTime and talk to them face-to-face. So yeah.
City.
Yeah, nah. I think that's a big thing, because especially we see it now even with the younger generation. It's hard for them to have a conversation with you, looking at you. Everything's through Twitter or just social media in general. So yeah, I think getting them back to FaceTime, not the actual app FaceTime, but just face-to-face human interaction is going to be dope. So yeah. Tip number 6, it says keep it old school. Overuse of screen time can have an adverse impact on young brains. So it's essential in these special circumstances to be extra careful when it comes to the little ones. As much as possible, parents should encourage to print and read books. So so they're saying pretty much to get books and print out the lesson plans or whatever they're doing, so they can have a physical copy and keep it old school so they can get off the screen. So yeah, I think that's actually dope. Printing out your lesson plan, and then instead of them sitting in front of the computer the whole time doing it, have them write it out, because man, all these things, how is this going to affect kids in the future, right? Like they're writing, they're not going to be able to write like properly, right? Everybody's handwriting is going to be sloppy because they're not writing.
Everyone's typing.
No, right now. I don't think anybody writes anymore like
but
that.
I was just gonna say I'm not okay with it. But well, I'm sure that, but we don't know the curriculum for some of these teachers, because the teacher might still have a curriculum where they are writing, and it's just simple, like, okay, write lowercase and uppercase A, and then show the class. Write pen, show the class. So you don't know the curriculums for some of these teachers and whatnot. Who knows if like they're making the parents scan them? We don't know.
Spelling is different from just actually writing. Like I remember there was literally a class that we broke from in the midst of learning English and everything else, where they taught us penmanship. We were literally learning how to do cursive, how to properly space our letters, like not run on, not too big, not too low. Like just actually, if you have to write a letter, make it look just about as neat or as nice as you would put it in, Times New Roman, sans, all the other different stuff if you were typing on a computer. I don't think they're going that far, because it's gonna be chicken scratch for the rest of life from here on out, boy. Dr. Wright.
My penmanship, man, I was one of the kids that they told my teacher had told my parents to put sand in the shoebox, and I had to write with my finger with cursive in the shoebox of sand to help my penmanship. That's how bad my penmanship was, and it still is pretty bad today. So that sand writing thing didn't even work. Like, what was the point of that?
But I say this. You see doctors write prescriptions, shit look like a kindergartner just threw up a pencil and just let it land on the paper, bro. You could have been a doctor where you write, Mars. Just let them know I could have been a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. I just blaming it because I'm left-handed, and then I see some people that's left-handed.
That's
and
why you're
right.
crazy, bro.
It makes
sense. It makes sense.
Wait a minute. You never knew that I'm lefty?
Nah, my wife's a lefty.
Oh, that's why we get along. Lefties stick together.
Lefties, yeah, that's like a forbidden club, man.
But yeah,
my mom's in that club too.
Hey, more power to her, man. She has to deal. We have to deal with these right-handed people all day. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. Wait, real quick, do you know? Does Anaya know what hand she? You know?
She's right. It's funny because me and my little brother wanted her to be left-handed because lefties got the best looking jump shots. So me and my little brother were like, "Yo, we need to get Anaya on her." So we gave her everything in her left hand, and she was doing it like so. I feel like because of that, we made her ambidextrous on accident because she does a lot of stuff with her left hand. But she does, she colors and she writes
primarily with her
right hand. Yeah, 100%. But there was a minute there where I thought we had her. I thought I was like, oh no, here we come. That Joe shot by me looking real pretty.
But I mean, but what if she is one of those percentage of players who got it nice from both sides though? You never know. Well, it ain't too many of them.
Her daddy is one of them, so hopefully she can too. Because her daddy only because I broke my right wrist when I was younger, so I had to learn how to shoot lefty and do a lot more stuff on the left. So because of that, I can do both. So hopefully, and I just has that from the jump. So now looking at you,
keeping the buck. I feel like when I shoot with my left, it goes in.
That thing going to the next yard.
No, it goes. It's more controlled and it goes in. But when I do it with my right, it's like it just flies because it's just the strongest hand. It just goes too far. Like I'm never gonna get it.
Yeah, nah.
Never gonna get it.
I'm hoping for Millie to be lefty, man. So we could.
Oh, you can combine.
But yeah. Because right now she's feeding herself right now. Well, trying to. She's at that phase where it's like, nah, give me the fork, give me the spoon. I'm gonna do this myself. And me and Kate have been watching what hand she's using, and she's switching back and forth right now between both hands. She don't know what she's using, so I think it's still a little bit too early to tell if she's lefty or righty.
I think it'd be funny if the twins ended up being polar opposites. One using
left,
one
left.
That would be great.
That's
what I want now. I want y'all. I want that to happen. No. Yep. That's what I want next. Yep.
Yeah, or they all just be lefty and you just be the oddball out, Tess.
I mean, I gotta sit on. I sit on everybody's right side, bro. It's so hard. Shut up. It's so hard. It's so hard to eat next to somebody who's a left-handed person when you're on their right. When you're on their left, you be like,
man, the world is made for right people, man. Because when y'all write in the books,
y'all left-handed people got a lot of stuff.
The binders are on the way now. The left-handed deaths were so few.
I'm not even talking about just the items. I mean, like when I was first applying for like college and stuff. There's so many scholarships and opportunities for people who are left-handed compared to right-handed dominance. Like, damn,
left-handed scholarship?
Yes, they exist.
Where were they at when I was there,
for
man?
people who use left. There's a lot of opportunities for people who are left-handed because there's not so many of them. I'm like, damn, let me learn how to. Nope, it ain't gonna work. I can't lie on this one because you have to prove you right left-handed. I'm like, this don't work.
See, I could have done it. You should have told me that earlier.
I could have done it too.
Yeah,
I am.
Sure.
God. Okay, yeah, got sidetracked a little bit, but moving on to tip number 7. Saying that we're all in this together. It's pretty much saying, as a parent or a guardian, create a PTA, man. The parent teacher association thing that they got going on. Talk to other PTA. Yeah, talk to other parents in your kid's class and see what's going on, see what's helping their kid, take tips and share information with each other. The teacher, you might think the teacher is going too hard or it might be too fast or too something, get together with the other parents and form a community so you guys can, help each other out. I did see a meme where it was like a kid sitting in front of a computer crying and it was like, this is my first day of school ever, and you want me to learn how to type?
Oh, I saw that. I was
like, that was the best way. You want me to use a computer? I don't even know how to read or write.
The kid be like, huh? How you do it? But see, in their defense, though, kids nowadays pick up on stuff really quick, so it wouldn't even be that. I mean, yeah, you'd be kind of butthurt about it. But the virtual PTA, I think is good. It's a good idea. but I think it will start a lot more beef between the adults than good, because their parents are gonna talk like, well, if your kid was doing this, or if you were doing that, so you're judging how I teach my kids, or how this, that, and the third. I'm like, it does sound good. It sounds good on paper, but it have to be like rules and regulations to the groups or wherever they create them. And also, I was gonna say, I think the e-learning thing, for the first time, there's a way to prove that the teacher not lying on you, or to prove the teacher is lying on you. For the first time in history, like, she lying on me. She can't be lying on you. She the teacher. I'm like, well, damn. So I'm just wrong all the time.
Yes.
You saw what she said. I'm sitting in this. You behind me, right? She said it. I was just sitting here. I just wanted to say that.
So on that note, to trail off a little bit, not really, still sticking to the same subject. Do you see Katie or Kira or yourselves being the type of parents to be in the PTA? You know, if times go back to being normal, sticking to the same subject.
I mean,
do you think not you, but do you think Kira's gonna be the one to be in PTA or
what?
Katie?
Yes. Do you not? Yeah. Bubbly happy sun. Not that I'm not bubbly happy sunshine. It's just I don't put too much effort into stuff unless I have an objective. Like, tell me what you need me to do. Don't just assume.
Yeah, we know. We do a podcast with you, Doug.
Exactly. That's exactly. So to be like, hey, can you make sure that the girls have like 24 muffins between? I bet we gonna get home and. Fuck that. We going to the stove. They ain't gonna never know.
I'm like, you gonna go home and do what? You gonna go to Ralph's or whatever is in Canada. You gonna pick up.
We going to Thrifties, damn it. They got the best.
Yeah, you gonna pick up some 15 and one for each of y'all to eat while you're packing them
up. Exactly. Daddy don't even eat pies, but we gonna have one a day.
To be honest, I don't think Katie would do it, but I think I'll do it. Right?
Isn't Katie a teacher though? Why wouldn't she do it?
Because she does.
That's why. And
it's like,
I'm just saying. Well, Mars is on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would do it. I would go to these meetings. If something's like crazy, I will put my input. Mainly, I think I would mainly do it if for the sport reason, to see what's going on in the sports world. Right. But like, that whole cupcake bake sale, cookie sale thing kind of stuff. Yeah, now keep me out of that. I don't care about that stuff. But like, I'll go there to see, we're getting new equipment. We need to help fundraise these kids for their equipment or whatever the case. I would be a part of that kind of stuff.
I'm all for the arts because I was in the arts. Like that'd be the one I had. That's the part of PTA that they're trying to rally and get support from. Like, yes, I'm on that. Now we're just having a fun. Like,
nah, that's the thing with PTA. They don't do them sectionally. You in PTA, you doing it all. And that's the unfortunate part. My mom got sucked into that for Nick. So like, because she was there, she knew a lot of people on the board and stuff like that. So she ended up helping out. Next thing you know, she was in the PTA. Next thing you know, she was the PTA president. And she's like, how the hell did I get here? She was so mad about it. So the minute he was done with 6th grade, she was like, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not doing none of that stuff for you ever again.
Hey, how's your kid? He good. I'm out.
Right. He's good. But window rolled up. I'm out. So so with that's why I'm thinking like I think Carly would. I think she would be involved with that. But the thing is,
sunshine.
No, but that's the thing. I think that after a year doing, she might not want to do it anymore because of those knuckleheaded kids that are not her daughters. So she'd be like, nah, I'm not making these cupcakes for Timmy and Bobby who be throwing up every time they eat anything, and I have to. No, I'm not doing that kind of stuff.
I know. So, we don't want to go on a tangent, but dog, can you think about how hard that's going to be? Even if you're not a part of PTA, but they have to bring something to school, you have to make sure it doesn't have this in it. You have to. I was like, huh?
Especially today's day and age, man.
So they have gluten, so I can't have gluten, gelatin, carbon dioxide, like all kinds of stuff in it.
I know some of the younger schools, elementary schools, they segregate the kids who are like have peanut allergies.
I figured
they put them all like on one table, like on one side of the cafeteria, so they know like, oh, none of these kids are actually
the teacher to worry about. Yeah,
right? Like, oh, you allergic to peanuts? Oh, you sit over there.
All right, can I get my vegans in the back left corner? Vegetarians in the middle.
Pescatarians in the bottom left.
Allergies.
What's that mean?
To the right.
Yeah, so it's crazy, man.
Gluten-free, sit outside. No,
what? Sit outside?
Think about that. I said gluten-free guys sit outside. I was just with them. Yeah, but I think I'm with Mars. So, but that doesn't make us PTA. So the answer is no. I would not be doing no PTA. Okay. But I definitely do want to be in the loop of like neighborhood I'm at, wherever I'm at, so that I can be like a coach. So I can be one of the coaches for basketball.
Yes.
So in the whatever the league is, because I know for us it was like NJB. I don't know. NJB is an American thing. I don't know if it's up in Canada. So I would be like one of the NJB
what they got
coaches.
up here. They do have them. I mean, don't get me wrong. They have all kinds of different little associations, but I probably won't start finding them until the girls like start getting into stuff.
Of course. Yeah, so I really want to do it because I coached for Nick when he was growing up playing basketball and stuff like that. And I loved it. And I was a teenager at that time. So then as a dad, like I for sure want to do that.
Yeah,
so I can sit. Yeah, I was so down for that, and then so I can make my daughter a star. Anyway, so next question. But I was curious.
Yeah, no, because that goes back to like, this is we branched off from these. We got two more topics, tips anyway. But yeah, that goes back to coach. I just watched the other day on TV, Friday Night Tykes. Have you ever seen that?
Watch that show. I can't watch it. It makes me so mad.
Is that kind of like the equivalent of pageant moms, but like?
Parents
who project on their kids in different other categories. Okay.
Boy, I was watching it and I was like, yo, these people are producing killers and murderers, and like
I can't do it. Yeah,
having that kind of mindset for a kid, an 8-9-year-old at that age is ridiculous, bro. Like I was sitting there watching it and dumbfounded. I was like, yo, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I could put my kid in that kind of situation. High school is different. Like I'll agree to that kind of, coaching behavior in high school to some extent. But as a kid, like that whole tough love kind of stuff, nah, man. I don't know. I'm not here for it. I'm not here.
God, I don't know if I could be that parent, but I understand the parenting. I just couldn't do it for football, to be honest, because it takes a lot more for football because you need that mentality for that sport. But for basketball, I feel like it's one of those things, like if you know that that's something that they really enjoy doing, and you're seeing like RJ Barrett's the best example I can use because he's on my Knicks, and he tells a story all the time about his dad and how when he was younger, when he was like 7-6 years old, like him and his dad would go outside every day at 6 a.m. until he had to go, or like 5 a.m. until they had to go to school every day. Then when they came home after homework was done, same thing all the time. And he's like a little kid doing that. But like, so I understand that because those are the kind of things that it takes to be good. But then for football, it's a different beast because then you might not be the strongest kid. So you got to do what you got to do to, stand up against those other tough kids. In basketball, at least you can be finessed to be around a lot of all that stuff. If you're not a center, then that means you're a guard and you can work with that skill set. For football, you got to be able to survive. I don't care if you're small and you want to do this, you got to survive. So it's a different.
I got a friend who has a son who's in football. He's got 2 twin boys, another son, and then his oldest son's in football. He got all boys.
Lucky
man,
but
his man right there,
bruh, to have 2 sets of boys behind having a boy and a boy, all boys in the house, like
boy,
yeah, exactly. But no, just like I watch a lot of the things that he does with his son. He posts it on Facebook and things like that. Like he has him and his sons, all the other 2, and of course not the babies, but they're out there. Even his youngest son, who's able, they're out there just doing stuff. Like he's got his son doing pool, tire pulls on his back while doing going up and down hills, bear crawls. Conditioning him because as he gets older, of course, this amount of weight will become lighter and lighter, but it's giving him that edge and putting those things in him that's going to help him.
It's also keeping him short.
Well, he's already short, giving him that hump. His jeans, I don't know. His dad's jeans ain't that tall. Decky ain't that tall, so I don't think his son's gonna be that tall. But I could be wrong. He could be a giant. You never know. But I get what you're saying, man. Like that. I wouldn't go above and beyond to that degree for my kids. Like I want them to enjoy what they do, but at the same time, I do if we're committed to, like, say one of the girls really wanted to do tennis or softball, like legit, or go. I don't think there's a real pro league for softball or even what else is they can whatever it is, women's lacrosse. Volleyball, anything. Like I'm down to let's put in the work. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna be getting up. Let's go.
Yeah.
If you could,
that's what I was gonna say. Like,
come up with it.
And that's what I was saying to Mars's point. I was like, I agree with you because Friday night, like that is a different level of crazy. And I feel like you could find that middle ground and still have your kid be successful in whatever sporting field they're trying to be in. There is a middle ground. There is no, if they miss a tackle, you're killing them for it and then they can't eat for that night. Like that's what I'm talking. Like you find a middle ground in all that stuff. If Malik goes, 0 for 12 in one game, I'm not going to take away his Xbox and take away his food for the
stuff
night.
Like that happens. You have off games.
Exactly.
You have off
we just going to take extra shots when we go shoot around.
Right.
That's that simple. We're going to take more shots. We're probably do an extra lap, and then you'll learn, and we move on. But it's nothing
but even then, CK, I'd say the best thing to always keep in mind at any given point, just always have that one-on-one talk with them, just randomly, like, hey,
exactly,
is your heart still in
the lesson?
Is your heart? Is your heart still in it? Because it'd be pointless to keep doing all this and pushing if you're starting. Like it anymore. Exactly. So as long as your heart's in it, I'm willing as a parent, I'm willing to put all the effort in to see you be great and succeed. But the moment you tell me I want to do something else, or hey, Dad, I just want to have fun with it. Then we can lighten the load, or we can just see what else is you want to put your toe in.
From there. Yeah.
Be the best you can be at this level.
That's what Kira wants them to swim. No, she wants them to swimming. That's what it was. They're gonna be if I can't do nothing else, my girl's gonna swim. They could be Olympic swimmers. Who knows? I'd be like,
already a mermaid,
bro. Them girls love water. Their mama loves water. I'm the land crab around here, bro. I can't touch it. I just be sitting there like, is it safe?
Mars, I feel like this was a subject you've been wanting to do for quite some time. That you keep forgetting to put on your docket. You've been wanting to talk about this subject.
Yeah, man. It was. And I just remembered it because we was watching that when I was over at Terrell's house. We was watching Friday Night Tykes, and I was just like, boy, it was just but I do want to go more in depth about that on another episode, so I gotta write it
down on here next and see how his day-to-day updates doing.
I want to compare. He's probably doing better.
That's right.
He's probably doing better than me. I'll be real.
See if you can get him on for yours in the next couple weeks. If y'all both,
I doubt it. I'm giving him. I'll ask, but I'm giving him time, like, because I know, because it's first kid. It's her first kid. Like, he needs at least like 3 months before he can think about trying to live a life. Are you kidding me? Like,
I was home with 2 babies, and I was like, Tez, how's it going? What's going on? You got 2. How you doing?
Well, actually, never mind. No, my parents are leaving because my parents are still down there. So tonight would have been the one.
Today was the episode.
Yeah, they'll be gone by the next one. But so the perfect example for step or tip number 8. Planning ahead, making a schedule is perfect for getting your kids on a track, especially at an early age. That's one thing that I failed at a younger man. It's just making the schedule and it's saying get them to get their deadlines done and get their goals done on time and stuff. When they have an assignment done, help them create a schedule. Like, all right, this day you might not have this class, but you can sit there and do this work, and then it has to be done by this time. Especially in college, man, getting deadlines done. I was one of the biggest procrastinators ever, and just then because growing up in high school, I just I just didn't do the work on time. You do it late, do it right before class started. I remember going in lunch, doing my math homework right before the math class, and that's it. But
same.
Help these kids not become procrastinators and keep them on the schedule, and and create goals for them so they can achieve these goals and on a nice little timeline. But
I know no differences here. I'm sure that's something you probably have already known about. And Mars, you're hearing he's doing it now. That just goes on with life in general when it comes to kids.
Yeah,
it's a part of my job
and routines. Schedules and routines will make your parenting so much easier because as they grow, there will be so much more custom and so used to so many things that you wouldn't even realize. And because we have like Carly's sister, her daughter does not go on any kind of routine. She going to bed at 1 a.m. and they're a week apart and stuff like that. And then when she's upset, she is pissed off and kind of stuff. So it's like routines are important. So of course, just from regular life to school and this kind of stuff. Yeah,
but even as a parent, dog, when like for the girls, they have their own schedule. 100%. Like when you get locked into their schedule, and then when they go through a leap and they get thrown off, it throws you all off. I'm like, yo, weren't they just eating at this time? But they're hungry now. But like, I'm trying to. This is the normal time I do stuff because this is when they're not doing stuff. Now I'm trying to juggle all my stuff just to make sure I'm around. Like, yo, it's definitely a thing to be mindful of. But as a new parent, don't ever assume you're gonna have one thing locked because as they're growing, everything changes.
It's gonna change about. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they go to for the first 1 to 6 is all cool, but I think after 6 on up, that's when you be like, forget that old schedule, boy. You just better pray it stay the same. Right now, their teeth with their teeth, literally think that we literally see them right at the gums. Like they've been fighting us for almost 2 weeks now, riding into this month. They're either upset, extra fussy, hella clingy, in addition to learning how to crawl up and actually start crawling. Like everything we were blessed with has gone out the window, boy. I mean, like sleeping in there, it went so. We were like, bro, y'all were such good babies.
You just had it handled. You had it handled.
Got y'all. I mean, not to say they aren't good babies, but I'm like, y'all sleep in y'all crib. But Jules, my little mini firstborn, bro. She's so hot when it comes to going to sleep. She crying. She can pull herself up on the edge of the crib and be like, where you at? I ain't tired. I'm like, go to sleep.
When did this start? Go to bed.
Yeah, and then her doing all that wakes Jazz up, and Jazz being like, she just be shoulder bopping and just like, I ain't going to sleep either. I'm like, Jesus, why? Why won't y'all go to sleep? So yeah, man, it's schedules. Keep them. Pray for them. Be on them.
Yeah, no facts. Because Millie, she's on her own. She's on the schedule. She just.
What you mean? Millie got the tightest schedule of anybody.
That girl be out like granny, boy. Like what time is it? 6? Where Millie at? Sleep? Like 6?
Oh, Millie, she is on a good schedule, man. She knows it too. Like she knows when it's time to eat. When it's time for a nap. Yeah. Yep. Like now, I think I might have mentioned it before, but like she goes to her crib now and stands in front of it, like, "Yo, y'all gonna put me in
here?" Yeah, hey, I like that. I like that. It's
time, man. But yeah, and going on to the last one. Well, no, I'm sorry. This is number 9. Tip number 9. Then we have one last one. They say this isn't a vacation, even though staying home may feel like it's a holiday. Remind your kids that this is not a vacation. Assignment, grades, requirements, and tests are still there. They're not going away, and this is their future, right? It just might be a little different from what we've learned or what they've learned. They still need these to, take the SATs, the ACTs, and all that stuff. They're not going away. Even if we're talking about little kids still, like this is their future, regardless of how they're doing it. Like if these kids are not failing or passing these classes, they will get left behind. They will. Like, you got to be a little bit strict on them and talk to them and let you know, like, yo, just because we're at home and we're sitting in front of the computer doesn't mean that it doesn't count. Like everything that they're doing counts towards their future. So yeah, this is not a vacation just because we're home. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. You don't want to get them too laxed out and just say, oh, whatever, I don't care. It's not real school now. This is still real school.
Oh, this is still real, right? Just new locations. This is still cool.
Still real life, real school, bucko. Mm-hmm. The wheels don't stop turning. But I mean, I just keep thinking, man, if the shoe was on the other foot, I know there's a lot of folks who graduated college and university in quarantine. I'm like, man, my hat's off to y'all, boy, because the way my brain worked, I would have failed.
That's what I said.
I would have big failed. Right, them PhDs and them dissertations and all them math. Nah, bro. How much you paying?
Definition of what you just said.
I wouldn't have done. Oh, that's generally what you give like for your like the end, like that's basically what your whole, I think going for a PhD or a master's is like. You pick a topic and you gotta build proof up to summing up what it is that you're doing in your field as like something. So you give a dissertation. Please don't quote me. I could be right or wrong. I don't know. Don't flame me too hard, but I believe that's all like going.
Disease you can die from organ.
Honestly, that's all I know as far as going for a master's and a bachelor's. I mean, a master's and a PhD. It's basically your whole from start to finish. Once you get into that, is literally picking something and proving it right, or doing the research to back your findings. It's like a long period of just research, proof, findings, done. But it also has to be true though. Like if it ain't about a hill of beans, you ain't gonna get no masters. Like it got to be something you can actually prove is fact, or give
or a proper dissertation.
Yeah. So.
Yep. And the last one, tip number 10. Don't forget to have fun. Right. They say plan off-screen activities with the whole family between school and work. It's rare for parents and children to have time together. So turn off everything and spend bonding time. They said they just list a whole bunch of things that you can do, like write predictions for a TV show with the family watches, organize a tournament for family games and things like that. Go outside, walks, hikes, the stuff that you would normally do on your regular day-to-day basis when you have time. Just don't forget to have that kind of fun, because once again, a lot of people are still inside and still not working at an office, so they're still home. So don't forget to enjoy each other and you know, just still be a family together. That's one of the biggest things I think people should not forget. Honestly,
it's not 100%.
It's just just do this, have fun, man, and that's it. Those are the 10 tips for learning during the pandemic. We will leave the website if you want to go check it out yourself. In the description. I got my source from children'sandScreens.com, and they have a whole bunch of other different things on here that can help you throughout the pandemic, and with different ideas to help you specify or just, you know, if you have problems. It's a cool website. Definitely check it out. They're not sponsoring us. I just happened to Google it.
What?
And it just came out. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Children's and Screens. The link to this website will be in the description. But before we actually like end it or anything, I want to talk about this meme, this new challenge that's going on that needs to stop right now.
Which one?
Okay, what's that?
It's the challenge where moms are telling their kids to tell them to shut up, and then the dad reacts. Have you not seen that?
The one where the little black girl was like, "You're not even my mom," and the dad went down there and she was like, "Bro, he was for the rock his daughter, boy."
And the daughter's actual name was Anaya.
I think there's a whole bunch. There's a challenge on TikTok right now. So if you haven't seen it, right, the mom will tell the kid. They set it up. The mom and the kid set it up. The mom will tell the kid to do something in front of the dad, and the kid responds, "Shut up! I don't have to listen to you." Or "Shut up! Just tell him shut up. I don't got to do whatever you told me to do." And the dad's reactions are crazy, bro. Like these dads, before these kids get hurt, man, the mom's like, "It's a joke. It's a joke." It's gonna be too late one time, and when kids gonna get beat.
Somebody gonna get CPS called on them because y'all were playing a joke. Because some of them, I'm telling you, the first one I saw was like this daughter's mixed. The daddy's black, sitting on like an island in the kitchen, and the mom's back there kind of recording him, but he's like looking down, and she's like, the daughter looked back, was like, "Geez, can you turn that off? I'm trying to record a TikTok video." And she was like, "So and so." She's like, "Shut up! You're not even my like my real mama." Sorry, that's his black daughter. And he hopped off that island so quick, like she had nothing. She had no choice but to fall back and kind of buckle. She's like, "It's a joke! It's a joke! It's a joke!" I was like, "Yo, he finna rock his daughter, dog." I'm like, "I'm sorry." She was finna catch them hands. Dad was like, "I ain't raised you like this. I don't know where the F this came from." They gonna get somebody hurt doing this with the wrong daddy.
I didn't know this was a trend.
Don't let it be a son.
The first one,
he catching hands.
That's true.
The first one I seen was the mom they were in the car. The family was in the car, and the mom was like, "Hey, Jason, can you help Billy reach his food?" He was like, "Shut up, mom!" Like he said it mad aggressive. I was like, "Ooh!" The dad didn't even say nothing. He just pulled the car over and got out, and the mom was like, "Yo, chill!" Like, in the middle of the street, he just pulled the car over and got out. He was about to, like these moms about to get these kids hurt, man.
Bro, internet fame is not where it's at, boy. You play with the wrong one.
Nah,
just
for
to
real,
be trending, dog.
Yeah, just to be trending. Yeah, I'll tell you, one of these days is gonna be quick enough to catch these kids, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have for. Oh, do we have an okay what? Because I don't.
Bruh, I honestly don't. I don't.
Okay. Let's just ask CK. How you been, man? How's it been in the house since Malik's home officially? That's your okay what? How's compared to Anaya and Malik? You said they night and day, but what you been like mentally? How you checking in, big dog?
Mentally, I'm all right. I'm honestly okay. I'm worried. I'm thinking a lot. I'm worried a lot because right now he's crying, and I'm worried about Carly, and she's, I know she's okay, but it's just like I feel bad. And then on top of that, because Anaya, bless her heart, she wants to be there for him, and that was probably the best moments when they got to finally meet.
Oh,
I told y'all Anaya was making me. I told y'all how she was making me feel crazy, like he wasn't real. And then on top of everything, Malik was going through what he was going through. So he wasn't coming home after when she thought he was supposed to come home. So now she was thinking that we were even more crazy. So when she finally saw him, she was like happy, and it was a cute moment. But yeah. So because we keep telling Malik said doctor, she'll be like, "Oh, okay, daddy." Like she not believing. But anyway, but yeah,
crazy people.
Yeah, like okay, daddy. But no, everything's been good, man. It's just it's definitely a different situation from with Anaya, where me and Carly are learning something new every day, especially with everything that he's going through. Because right now he has a G tube, so learning to do that and feeding him with the machine and all that stuff, and on top of because that's the thing. What you don't think about is when you feed a kid with a bottle or with the breast, they have the nipple of the boob or the nipple of the bottle in their mouth to soothe them as they eat. When you got a G tube, it's just going to pump right straight into their tummy. So he's crying while he's eating. So he don't know that he's getting what he wants because he don't feel it right away because it's being pumped.
It's
so
not,
he's
it's not instinctual.
So exactly. So then when
have y'all
gets
tried
putting
the soother in with at the same time when that's going
that's
in?
what we've been doing. Because that's literally that's the last thing that we're going through right now. Obviously, he still has other things that he's working on. Where his physical therapy, and he's killing it. He's doing so good. Like he's moving, so he's good. He'll be okay. But the last thing right now, because he is his swallowing. He's strengthening up his swallowing and being able to start eating by mouth. Because the G tube is just temporary. It's not long term, nothing like that. But he needs to eat, so he's learning how to eat by mouth and swallow and stuff. So yes, we're using pacifiers. We've been putting them on ice because it it gets the muscles like yeah, what we doing? What's up? Yeah, exactly. So and then Carly's like putting the breast milk on the pacifiers and stuff like that, and he's getting it. He hates them, but he's getting it. He much rather suck on his own tongue. That's a Carly trait. Anaya does it, Carly does it, and now Malik does it.
How do you?
Yeah, they just, bruh. Anaya, her bottom lip comes out, and she's sucking on her tongue. Malik, the bottom lip goes in. And Carly, she's looking at you and you don't know nothing's going on. But if she's just looking straight and her mouth is closed, she's sucking on her tongue. So she's like the archetype for this whole tongue sucking thing that they all be doing. It's crazy. Because people suck on their thumbs and stuff like that. No, that's they skip the process, just go straight sucking their tongue. Yeah.
Got it.
Right.
That's new.
But no, it's been cool, man. It's been, it's all a learning process. We're just happy he's home and, just trying to learn the different screams and stuff because it's different. Because Anaya, when she cried, we knew what it was. She's upset. There's a diaper change. Yeah. Did she eat? Yeah. So why? So there's nothing to cry about. She won't cry. She'll stop crying.
Dog, I wish she would have. I wish she would have bet people. I wish she would have just been betting.
I want to make so much money, bro.
I wish she would have just went to the fattest loan shark you could find and be like, bro, I'll bet you everything my son's different than my daughter. And just come up.
I would have made so much money, bro. But it's been good, man. It's been really good. We've had a good system. I feel bad though, because even though we've had a system and Carly's been doing the majority of it, I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, yeah, it's been 50-50. No, Carly's been killing it. It's probably like about 75-25 because I'm still working. She's home. Man. So that's why in between these periods right now, I try to do as much as I can. Right. But then she's also the one that because with the G tube, you have to do it every 3 hours. You feed them, so that means even at nighttime, you still got to feed them. So midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So for that 3 o'clock one, she'll be up. The 6 o'clock one, I've been trying to be good at staying up with or getting up with her on, and definitely I'll be up for the midnight one.
Bro, I don't.
So it's
that.
She's killing it with that. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Yeah, she's I love
her. I'm just remembering when we had to do it. I'm like, bro, it's like it wasn't no option to just say, hey, you got it. No, we both got to get up because it's two of them. I'm like, I don't miss not being able to get no sleep.
That's right, man.
Boy, y'all talking about miserable. We in here like, man, what time is it? What day is it? Where everybody at?
So bad because he can sleep through the night, and that's the thing. And then we begin so comfortable because him and I still have that, so he'll sleep through the night, no problem. But you have to remember, you gotta wake him up for that 3 o'clock evening, because then at 6 it's gonna be hell because that's the 6 hours he ain't eat, or I'll do that math, whatever it is. That's the amount of time he did not pissed off about it. So we gotta remember, she gotta remember to get up to get him for that one. But he'll sleep through the night if you let him. So. It's just like a night with that, but unfortunately, because of the G2 and he's not eating by mouth, we have to make sure he's eating at these certain times, or else we don't know how that'll come out. But he's doing good, man. Everything is going well. All the tests, the few times we've gone to the doctor so far, everything's coming back amazing. He had another brain check, and his head's growing, which is really good because that means his brain is growing. Everything's good. Everything is going according to plan. Like I said, we're just making sure that he's moving a lot, which is good. That means that all doctors are expecting him to be able to walk. Will he have a limp? We don't know. All those kind of things are still up in the air, but he could walk just like normal, and just probably just be a tad slow when it comes to like learning and stuff like that. He might need a little extra time when learning things like that, and we'll take that easily, like in a heartbeat, because like I said, a month and some change ago, we thought he was going to be living on a machine his entire life, and now he hanging out with us and yelling at us and stuff like that, which is a blessing.
I was going to say, you said he walking around. I'm like, damn, dog, he grew up.
He might as well be walking
like he grew up, dog.
He a grown man already. Man, he might as well be walking around, because he'll try and stand on you, and it's like you're a month old. You're going to be bow-legged. Do not do this. We're trying to help you walk normally. Do not add this to the list. Like, because he want to stand. And
hey, bro, he trying to be one of them pigeon-toed prodigies, bro. He trying to be out there on hooping with the bended leg.
You can be tall. You have all the makings to be a tall baby. If you see this kid's hands, like his hands going to be way bigger than mine. He has all the tools to be a tall kid. So do not hurt yourself by making yourself bow-legged, because that's going to take some inches off the top. So.
Bro, that vertical leap gonna go sideways. Keep it straight.
Come on, son. Come on. But nah, everything's been good. It's been a blessing. I'm just happy. We're happy he's home. He's doing good.
Great, man. That's great, man. I'm happy, man. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Terrell. I'm happy for everybody.
I really wanted Terrell up there. I want Mike to update, man. I need to know. I want to know how if he's dying and whatnot. Because I saw him tweet talking about he don't know what. He DM'd me. He was asking how Malik was. And I told him, and then I'd asked him how mine was doing. He's like, I don't even know what day it is anymore.
That's how it feels, dog. And I think back when I look at them and see where they are now, and then I because like I said, y'all know it's up in the air. I'm just like, bro, I'm so scared to try again. I'm like, we not trying now, but I think we try again down the line once we got a house and shit. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to get up with 2 more babies when I'm 35. I ain't doing this. I'm too old for this shit. I don't want to. I don't want to do this no more.
That's why you gotta do it now, man.
Now that I know Kira wants them, I'm speaking that thing into the universe.
I'm talking about, bro, but that's all bro. I'm telling you, that's all. I shit you not. From the moment I said me and Kira want to try and have kids, even before I met y'all, like, they were like, oh, when
we didn't take you serious at all.
No, I mean, but like my family they were the main ones. Like, watch y'all had twins. I'm like, why do y'all keep saying this?
Yeah, well, you were telling us that, none of us took you serious.
I was like, bro, my family swears up and down we gonna have twins, and I'm like. Hey, the one who hit it on the head.
I remember that night, yo. I remember the night I found out. I was falling asleep for her nap, or falling asleep for the night, and this man said, "Yo, she can't have twins." I was like, "Yes."
Everybody was like, "It's gonna be twins." I'm like,
it was in the when he told the rest of the chat. It was in the morning. We was at Millie's doctor.
Yeah, I found out that night.
Okay, and I had to call the chat. I was like in the middle of these doctor's office, like, yeah.
And I just finished getting him a dope player at what's the shirt I got you at E3?
I got you this dope incoming player 1.
Yeah, man, to find out now you can't use that because then poor Julia or whoever not getting the other shirts gonna be upset because they not player, they're not in it. Well, I'm just a CPU. No, I don't want to feel like that.
Player 1 and NPC. I'm like, you were kind of surprised. Like, it would have been Jazz. Like, man, it's wild. But I hope. Look, I won't be mad if it's 2 boys or a boy and a girl. But Lord,
you just want
2 more. I just want a son, man. I just want one son. I want one son. Cool. My son could ride the Reading Rainbow for the rest of his life. I just want one son.
Hey, speaking of sons, I want to knock on wood real quick. Haven't been shot yet. We're all good. Everything's been okay. Carly got hit a few times. The nurses, when he was in the hospital, got hit quite a few times. Not yet. I've been.
We're gonna doing keep an update count on the PP.
Bro, I'm trying because what I do is I'll show them, I'll let the air hit, and then I'll cover that thing right back up. I'm like, all right, you feel that? All right, let's do it. I'll do it a few times.
Shield up, like,
he gonna catch you. He gonna catch you on one of them early morning shifts when you half in, half out, and you're like, what happened?
Yeah. All right. Wow, Malik, no. Yeah, no.
You got me. You got me.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. So I guess we can wrap it up around here around this time, right? Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, we did it, man. Episode 14.
Episode 14.
Closing remarks.
Yeah, I'll go with my closing remarks. Okay, like I said, this could be we know it could be hard learning in this digital world for the parents and for the kids. So we just thought we could help out a little bit and share what we know or what we've also researched ourselves. None of us are at that point or stage yet. So once again, I hope you guys take what we say. It's just tips. It's nothing set in stone or recommendation or whatever. Yeah, so let's go with that. That's it. Follow the new channel over at Popscast on YouTube.
Yes. Just search us. You'll find it. We're here.
Yep. You might have to search be specific, like episode 14, because I tried to look it up. Because they're we're still new in their algorithm, so it's a little harder for us to get found-ish.
I mean, today's the first day. Once you upload this and we start cutting this up, and
what about you, CK? Before I do my whole spiel.
No, everything Mars said about the episode, I'm with that. But yeah, my main thing is if you guys are listening to the audio versions of this, like Mars just said, go over to YouTube. You put in Popscast in that search bar. Don't listen to what Ted said. We will come up. You will see our channel. You click that channel, and then you will see Popscast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, content will start to come up, starting with this episode. So please, please, please. And also, in the comments below, anything we talked about, anything we said, anything we left out, let us know what you're thinking about that. We would love to hear that over on the YouTube channel. Yes, subscribe.
Yep, subscribe, like KDJ would say. But yeah, don't listen to me, but in the same light, listen to me when I say we appreciate you for watching and or listening to the podcast. Give it a 5-star or higher or whatever is the maximum limit on Apple Podcasts.
No. Be honest. Be honest. No.
I mean, you can be honest, but it helps us if you give us a 5. If you really enjoy us, it helps us find more listeners and viewers, and it works us higher up in the algorithm on Apple. Also on Amazon's listening platform and any other platform you may use to listen to podcasts, you will find us. Again, we appreciate y'all for coming through. It's always a blessing to be able to do this for you all because we're dads, and hopefully you guys are future dads or dads also in the same light, or just parents in general, and we just like to share whatever it is we're talking about. And if, like CK also said, comment down below. We definitely want to hear back from y'all if that's something y'all would like to do. No pressure, but pressure. So yeah, y'all be great. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you on episode 15. Peace.